I will try to straighten the phone a little bit. It's a little crooked. I'm not sure if I will succeed. I hope so. I better get out of here in case I'm standing near the water. I don't have much choice here, you see. It's all hard to know what to do exactly. The peace of nature. Although nature has its own challenges internally. It looks like peace. I'm going to try and fix the phone a little bit, so maybe there'll be a little disturbance for a second. Hopefully not too serious. I'm not sure sometimes. I think that's a little better, isn't it? I think we'll be happy with that. So good morning, everybody. A lot of growth here. It's interesting, the psalm that was chosen for today's liturgy, today's readings, it's Psalm, where is it? It's 145. I will praise your name forever, Lord. I will praise your name forever, Lord. That's a wonderful view towards the future. I will praise your name forever, Lord. And in the palace there's tremendous confusion. Herod's palace, and that's actually in Tiberias, just down there. You see the sun is reflecting off some of the windows. And the bus is on the road and the cars are driving. First people going to work for the early shifts. I will praise your name forever, Lord. So Herod's palace was there in Tiberias, and the anchor of his expectations and hopes were not mature, as in the psalm. I will praise your name forever, Lord. His anchor was in the present moment. It was his birthday, so they'd be singing happy birthday, Herod. And really a sad birthday party, the way it turned out. I will praise your name forever, Lord. Kings like to hear that kind of language for themselves. in general, King David and King Solomon are remembered that way. I will praise your name forever, Lord. But a lot of kings are under the pressure of the day, of the hour. Think of all the pressure with the media today on people in authority in every sphere of life, because of social media, because of public critique. Before, in authoritarian cultures, and even today in some authoritarian cultures that still exist, it's not possible to critique and to protest. In the time of Herod, there was a protester who called him out, who spoke words to power. But interestingly, Herod was intrigued by him, so there was something amazing still alive in his heart, in his conscience. When there's something still alive, there's hope. I even heard one commentary today where the expectation for Herod would be condemnation. And I'm no one to say that that's false directly, or that it's true certainly. Because actually, you know, I do not know what happened to Herod afterwards. Because Herod had another day when he went on to mock Jesus at his trial. So there's, in a certain sense, a crescendo of what would you say, his person autonomy, the way he lives his life. Hey, do you remember it's a long time since we came across here? And the water would be covering these stones, or you could barely see it. I had never seen this in this position right now. I'm not going to go across here right now. We don't really need to do that, but the path goes across there. We have quite a few days we were through here. That should be on film still. And the water has gone down, obviously, quite a bit, so we see all these big stones fording the stream. But I would still bear the hope and the prayer, and I imagine that's John the Baptist's prayer, and that's why Jesus died, that maybe before his death he still had a time to reflect and backtrack and change his direction in life. We cannot wish the death of anyone. There's a wonderful phrase in the scriptures that God did not want death. That came from somewhere else. God wants our life, and there's plenty of thematic development, especially in the story of Jesus, in that direction. God is a God of redemption, or redemption of his people. So I don't think we should rejoice today in any way, and we shouldn't call the final shots on Herod. And I imagine when we get to heaven, we'll have lots of surprises. There was a little girl who prayed for forgiveness for her murder over 100 years ago. Her name was Maria Goretti. And her greatest joy would be to see him in heaven, which we hope she does, because he was even present at her canonization, or at least for beatification. I'm not sure he was alive for canonization as well, maybe. I think he was, but I'm trying to remember. When Maximilian Kolbe died, the man for whom he died was at his beatification, at least in Rome in 1975. It's interesting. You know, we see evil progress in the world, like happened at Herod's birthday party. And a way of life starts with smaller things, and then we grow into greater disorder, and we lose control then of situations. People think that sin allows greater liberty, but actually it enslaves us more, and our will to do good is weakened, and we really need a lot of will to do good in the face of evil, because it's so easy to stoop to the level of evil and deal in the same terms, deal in the same destructive way, in the revengeful way, taking up the same tools. There's revenge language in the Old Testament ascribed to God, but it doesn't play out at all in the way people would imagine, because God operates on a whole different level, and his revenge is mercy and forgiveness and a change of heart that's worked in the person, that the person accepts freely to allow be worked in oneself. It's really a great mystery. And the first reading is very articulate, amazingly powerful. It takes a little bit of concentration to follow the whole logic of it. I recommend you to read that slowly yourself and to tie it together. And that great day of glory, of judgment, of accountability, of reward is really wonderful. It's fascinating also to see there's a phrase in there in 9 verses. It's repeated 8 times. I let you figure out which it is. It's amazing the way Paul is completely anchored on a very concrete understanding of that day. He has a very, very deep bond of love, of focus, of fulfillment that he's expecting. And that's very much the spirit of Psalm 145. I will praise your name forever, Lord. I think we all need to pray, like Paul is doing for the people he loves so much in this text we have from 1 Corinthians, and to pray, to really pray for all the people we know and love, and even for our enemies, to bless our enemies. The word blessing is there a lot. To bless our enemies, to do good to those who hate us. There's something extraordinary about that victory in the human heart. That confidence, that freedom, that transcending even the evil intent of those who only wish us bad and do us bad sometimes. But they're struggling themselves, you know. Poor Herod, as miserable as he was in the joys of his parties and his celebrations and his festivities and his birthday, you know, the guy had a longing in his heart. He didn't help it too much with his lifestyle, but that's there since the Creator brought him into existence, and its purpose was to bring him to fulfillment of his existence. And that longing is in us. It needs nourishment, it needs care. It doesn't need us to indulge the opposite forces working in us, against us. That's the freedom of doing great and good. People, God bless you. What a great day, beautiful day. I'm just here a couple of yards north of our house here along the shore, for those who mightn't recognize it. We don't go there too much, but it's a different perspective. See you later, alligators. God bless you.